Hey, this is Adam from tripped.it. Today I'm going to talk about blind XSS attacks. So, to show you how to do this, I've created a dummy little company web page. So it's a basic page, you've got a home page, login page, register and contact. Pretty much some of the things that you'll find on any normal web application. So say if you came across this website, if you were doing say a red team pen test or like a bug bounty, you'll go through it, and we've tried SQL injections, we've tried brute force attacks against the login, and we can't find any input coming from the any get variables and any output coming from the login form, so XSS attacks aren't working for us here. So this would probably be a good point to actually try a blind cross-site scripting attack. Now, these attacks differ from standard cross-site scripting attacks because you can't see the output immediately. Usually you'll submit it against a form, which I'll show you in a moment, and then later on in the day or a day later somebody will then view that form, and hopefully at that point that would actually trigger the JavaScript on that page. So we'll go through and we'll just show you how this could be done. So on these forms you want to concentrate on the text areas, so nothing like a password, which more than likely, or it should be, getting hashed, so that wouldn't be readable anymore. So we'll just put some test data into here, so we'll put email address test.test.com, username test, password test, and for your name we'll type in Brian, and then script tag alert XSS. Okay, right, so that's sent through. So that's going to be stored somewhere on their database now. We'll try it on this contact form as well. So subject, try help me. Name, Adam, my email address, I'll do test.com, and then for the message, again, let's try and put another script tag in here. Okay, so again, the contacts form's gone. Now, so this is going to be on their back-end system somewhere, so at this point we don't know whether that JavaScript is actually working. So let's take a look at that back-end system. This is just kind of a mock-up, a little example of what it could potentially look like. A lot of web applications do have these web-based back-end systems for administrations and for like staff members to work on. So on here we've got users, analytics, and contact, and logout. So let's have a look at the contact as the last one we did. So when we click on that, we can see that it's working. The XSS is coming up under the subject. Analytics, so that's interesting. We've got a log here of all the pages that have actually been viewed on the web application. So we'll come back to that one in a bit because I'm sure we can do something with that as well. And then users, again, we're getting another XSS prompt. Now at this point that wouldn't be very useful to us because firstly we wouldn't actually know that that JavaScript had been enabled, and secondly that would also inform the administrator or a staff member that something's going wrong on there. So what we need is some JavaScript where we can actually steal some information or get some information, some kind of confirmation back to us that that JavaScript is executing. So this is where tripped.it comes into play. So with this tool we can inject a line of JavaScript, and that will actually feed data back to us. So once you've signed up for an account, I'll log into here. This is the premium version. You can create a new project. So hit new project. So let's call this just test company. When this is created, you get a unique URL on there with test.js on the end. Okay, so and then for example you can actually put any text or numbers before this, so you can put test1 and then your unique URL again. So I'm going to show you how that can be useful and how you can change these parts as well, so you actually know which parts of your tests are working. So let's just copy that string and let's go back to our victim company. So let's go on the contact form again. So let's do help 2, name again, let's put Adam this time, test@test.com, message, hello, and in the script tag let's paste in that URL that we've just got from tripped.it. So let's take that test 1 out and put something useful in. So let's put contact form. Let's hit send form. Okay, right, that's been sent. So let's go back to the admin area now. Before we click on contact, let's just open the web developer tool so we get an idea of what's actually happening on there. So let's hit web console and let's put network on so we can see any network requests. So let's hit contact. Okay, so that's our first XSS. So in theory we wouldn't have done that, so we can ignore that first one. So let's click that. And now we can see the secondary JavaScript is actually triggered as well. So we've got this contact form hyphen, then your hash.in.tripped.it. So that's loading the JavaScript and the code, and this code basically gets the URL that the person's viewing, their cookie, and also it takes a scrape of all the HTML on that page, and then you can see the secondary request here where it's actually posting that back to the server with the parameters here. So if we go back to our tripped.it dashboard, we hit refresh. Okay, so we can see the DNS lookups happening, because each time a DNS request happens against your unique hash, it will actually save that information, and also the label against it as well. So we can see contact form has been triggered. So it's called, so we've got a tick against it, so we know we've received data back. If we click on this action button, we can see the URL that called it, the cookie of the user, and then also this is the scrape of the admin area as well, so you can see all that information. Probably an important part of seeing this HTML is, as you look down here, you can actually see where your script has been included. So from that you can actually launch other attacks. If there's other things on this page, then you can start modifying the JavaScript you send through to actually do and perform other actions. Let's do the same thing again, but for the user form, just so you're sure what's going on here. So just copy that again. Let's get to the register page. So email, test.test.com, username, test123, password, test123, name, Adam, and then script SRC. We'll close it off. And again, let's change this label so we know it's the registration form that's doing it. So let's call it register. Hit the register button. Okay, and as we jump back to the admin area, let's click on users. And again, we can see the information's being posted back there. Again, let's have a look at the tripped.it dashboard. And there we go, register, it's been called, and on the action tab, again, URL, HTML scraping, and also the cookie on there as well. Another possible interesting attack vector, as you can see from the admin area, they actually have an analytics section. So this is a bit more of a dumbed down section, it's just kind of like a log. But something that would be really useful for a company is to maybe log all the 404 requests for SEO purposes, so they know maybe they've got people landing on pages that are missing and they want to find out where are those people coming from, and they need to be alerted of that just so that they haven't got any SEO problems. So if we launch, if we go into Burp Suite, then just have a look at any of these where you've sent information over. So let's have a look at this contact form, and we'll send that over to Repeater. And so for the user agent again, so let's just put a script tag in the user agent. Again, let's just change that label as well. Just call it user agent. Close the script tag. Oops. Let's send that over. Okay, so as we view this again from the analytics side, and there we go, user agent has been posted the data. Let's just confirm that. There we go, user agent. Again, we've got that information. We've got the cookie, we've got the URL where it's come from, and also the HTML. Using that information, we could actually log in to that admin area and we'll gain access to all that information. You could actually perform the exact same attack, but instead of the user agent, put it in the referrer header as well, because that would be another tag which would actually be stored on the database for example, for SEO purposes or for analytics. This has been a useful video to get an idea of what blind access attacks are and how tripped.it can actually help you with these.